Have you ever gotten into a fiery argument with a stranger on social media? You throw out heaps of evidence. You link news articles. You quote experts. You use arguments as sharp as a razor, but the other person remains as stubborn as a rock. Maybe even calling you stupid or brainwashed. And you think to yourself, my God, how can someone be so stubborn and delusional? Well, congratulations. You've just experienced one of humanity's finest specialties. But there's an even more terrifying truth. A plot twist that would make M. Night Shyamalan tip his hat. It's very likely that, in their eyes, you look exactly the same. Why? Because our brain, that gray organ we're so proud of as the pinnacle of evolution, is actually a professional con artist. And one of its most sophisticated tricks is called confirmation bias. To put it simply, confirmation bias is the tendency to search for, interpret, and recall information in a way that matches what you already believe. Your brain isn't an objective scientist seeking the truth, it's more like a loud-mouthed lawyer. This lawyer's job isn't to find the truth, but to defend its client at all costs. And the client here? It's your beliefs, your prejudices, and your massive ego. This lawyer will scour all of Google, Facebook, and TikTok to find even the tiniest piece of evidence to support its client's case. And it will brush off, criticize, or simply ignore any evidence to the contrary. Sounds a bit abstract, doesn't it? Let me give you a few examples that everyone has surely encountered. Let's talk about the endless holy war, iPhone versus Android. If you're a die-hard Apple fan, what do you type into Google? Probably things like, reasons to buy iPhone 15. iPhone camera is the best. How convenient is the Apple ecosystem? And Google, like a loyal servant, will return millions of results praising the iPhone to the high heavens. You read them, you nod along, you feel so wise. Then one day, you accidentally scroll past a review that criticizes the iPhone's weak battery or its uninspired design. What's the first reaction of the lawyer in your head? This reviewer was probably paid by Samsung. Just some jealous haters. They just don't know how to use it properly. You immediately close that tab and go find a video titled, Why the iPhone is Still the King of Smartphones, to soothe your soul. Conversely, an Android user does the exact same thing, just with different keywords and a different target of criticism. Both of them live in an information bubble of their own creation. And inside that bubble, they are always right. This gets much more serious when it involves politics and social issues. Let's say you support policy A. You will only read the newspapers, follow the news pages, and listen to the influencers who praise policy A. Your feed will be flooded with articles titled, Policy A brings resounding success. Citizens are thrilled with policy A. If someone shares an article with the headline, The Troubling Consequences of Policy A, the lawyer in your head will immediately scream, tabloid trash. Fake news. Just cheap clickbait. You won't even bother to click and read it. Because deep down, you've already decided it's garbage. Meanwhile, in a parallel universe on someone else's newsfeed, those who oppose policy A are doing the same thing. They only share negative news and consider supporters to be a bunch of brainwashed fanatics. And so we have two armies, both looking at the same thing but seeing two completely different realities. And both are convinced they hold the truth, while the other side is both ignorant and pitiful. This trap is so sophisticated that it even shapes how we see ourselves. Do you think you're unlucky in love? The lawyer in your brain gets to work. It will filter and highlight all the memories of your rejections, your bad dates, your heartbreaks. It will make you forget the times someone had a crush on you, the fun dates that didn't lead to a relationship, or the people who treated you well. Every time something unpleasant happens, you nod to yourself. See? I told you so. This is just my luck. You create a self-fulfilling prophecy and then spend your whole life finding evidence to prove that prophecy right. What a spectacular trick where the victim and the culprit are one and the same. So why is our brain so lazy and deceitful? In reality, this is a survival mechanism from our primitive days. Our ancestors needed to make split-second decisions to survive. If you see a rustling bush, it's better to assume there's a tiger in it and run, rather than standing around to analyze whether it's a tiger or just the wind. Believing what you already know saves energy and minimizes risk. But in the modern world of information overload, this energy-saving mechanism has become a barrier preventing us from reaching objective truth. It turns us into stubborn people, living in our own little wells, and believing it's the entire sky. It turns debates into pointless shouting matches where everyone wants to talk and no one wants to listen. We worship reason, yet we act on emotion disguised by justifications we scavenge for ourselves. We pride ourselves on our ability to analyze. But in reality, we're just looking for puzzle pieces that fit the picture we've already drawn in our heads. Realizing this isn't about beating yourself up, it's about having a little humility. The humility to admit that you might be wrong. The humility to listen to an opposing view without rushing to judgment. And most importantly, to question yourself the next time, before you hit share on an article, or type out an angry comment to educate some delusional person online. Try to pause for just a second and ask yourself one simple question. Am I searching for the truth? Or am I just searching for validation?